Welcome back. In this clip I want to talk about the issue of methodology with regard to your research project. So first of all, what does methodology mean? Research methodology is defined as the system of methods used in a particular area of study or activity. Recall that we talked about systems and research as a system in one of our earlier clips. It is the way that you test your hypothesis or proposition, achieve your objectives that you set out for your research, and answer your research questions that you determined in your literature review. Methodology and method are different. You can use the term research method to describe the part designed by you within the overall research program. The method is the detailed description of what you are actually doing when you're implementing your program. Use research methodology or research approach to describe the way the whole research program has been tackled by you. Research methodologies are by no means unique. There are only a limited number of methodologies used in research, where every research project has its own method. We can think of analogy to meals and cuisine. Think about types of cuisine, like Italian or Chinese and Thai, as the methodology, and a recipe to cook the food as the method. The book How to Write a Better Thesis by Evans and Gruber gives quite a good description of methods and methodology, and I would recommend this book to you. There is an overall generalized research methodology as indicated by this cycle. You might start your research project at various places, but you're probably starting over in this sort of area where you have some idea of a theory and some context for your project. You make a hypothesis on the basis of your reading of the literature, and then move around the cycle to do deductive research, make predictions, record observations, and so forth, in order to see if they accord with the theory or to develop the theory, and then the cycle can start again. Within this generalized methodology, there are a number of particular methodologies that are used in engineering research. Theoretical analysis is sometimes used, but usually more in pure scientific research. Laboratory experiments, of course, are used often. Field measurements are very important, where it is not all that easy to set up realistic experiments within a laboratory, where there are many interacting variables that you wish to gain an insight on. Computer simulation is very commonly used to explore in more detail theories and laboratory work. Questionnaires and surveys are often used in more social and applied social research. Literature review is sometimes used in engineering research, but typically the amount of literature available is not enough for a systematic review. Case studies are very common, where one is trying to gain an insight into a particular case, and it's acceptable to use combinations of the above. I have a separate clip which goes into more detail on these typical methodologies. In your research and report, you have a choice to make about methodology. Assessors will be looking for evidence that you are aware of some of the alternative methodologies and that you have actively chosen and justified an appropriate methodology. So in conclusion, there are many types of research methodologies. Your research question will guide the selection of research methodology and the associated method. The various research methodologies all have advantages and disadvantages, so you should consider these in choosing one. Methodologies are often used in combination. So, for example, combining laboratory research with field research, or simulation with laboratory research. Don't forget to tell your reader why you chose the research methodology you have used, and make clear the limitations of it. So what's next? Actively look at your literature and make a list of the methodologies used by the people that are doing research in your field. You can compare the advantages and limitations of those methodologies. Assess the resources required to use the various methodologies and compare to the resources that you have available. Your resources may be quite limited compared to some of the journal articles that you found in your field. And finally, make an active choice for your methodology that you are going to use in your project and justify that choice.